Greetings, Otaku Faithful. Thank you for joining me again this week. Once again, it's Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief, and I'm here to bring you yet again another favorite heroes video segment right here on Otaku Assemble! Weekly, as always, here to bring you the latest in this week's favorite hero video segment. And the votes are in. I tallied up the votes from last week's favorite heroes and favorite villains video segments. And the CW original series Supernatural came out on top in a very, very close. Now, granted, I must say I didn't really follow my own rules this week, because the rule was it was supposed to be the comment with the most likes, the most thumbs ups that would get, the videos for the following week. However, the Supernatural series was one that I was really interested in doing, but this is where I kind of cheated, was because the Supernatural series, the comments only got like 10 votes, right? But I got a lot of other comments requesting the Supernatural series, and then I got a lot of personal messages doing the same. And if I tallied up all of those, which is what I did, the Supernatural series came out with like 20 votes, and the Kingdom Hearts series came out with like 15. So, granted, yeah, I kind of broke my own rule this week, but that was the series that got the most requests. So, with that said, I'm here to give you my favorite heroes and favorite villains for the CW Supernatural series. And as the title suggests, my favorite hero, all-time favorite hero, and probably my actually, I don't know if he's my favorite character. He is my favorite hero, but I don't know if he's my favorite character. And you'll see what I mean when I get to my favorite villain segment. But I'm here to dedicate this video to my man, Dean Winchester. Now, before all of my fans, especially the fangirls of the series, rip my head off, it's like, how could you choose Dean over Sam? Well, I like both of them. I really do enjoy both of the Winchester brothers. I'm a huge fan of both Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki, mainly because I was introduced to these actors before the Supernatural series, because Jensen Ackles I was introduced to in season 4 of Smallville, and Jared Padalecki had the role of Dean in Gilmore Girls, which I'm a huge fan of that series. And before you say anything about Gilmore Girls, it's a really good fucking series, okay? So all of you pricks that's like, oh my god, I can't believe Larry just said that. Go fuck yourselves. Okay, it's a good series. But with that said, so I'm a huge fan of both Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki. And like I said, the Winchester brothers, I do love. Sam and Dean are like the best brother duo on TV since Corey and Eric Matthews, okay? But with that said, I gotta say, Dean is my favorite, and the reasons for this are simple. Dean is the older brother. Dean's the big brother, and take it from a big brother. A lot of the things that Dean does, I can relate to, because I would do the same thing. Dean really does. He looks out for Sam. He's really family oriented, which I love that about him. But also, the subtle things about Dean that I can't help but eat up. Dean is a huge fan of classic rock. Cause I love classic. I love me some classic fucking rock. Okay? And the same bands that Dean listened to, Dean listens to AC/DC, Zeppelin, Van Halen. You see what I'm saying? Those are all bands that I fucking listen to. Bon Jovi. I shit you not, one of my favorite scenes in the entire series is the scene when, I think it's a season 3 episode, Dean and Sam are in the car driving, and Wanted, Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi comes on, and they start singing to it. I fucking love that scene. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a link to that video, because I have it favorited on YouTube. I'm going to put a link to that in the description box so you guys can see the scene I'm talking about. But I fucking love that scene, okay? So yeah, Dean he's big into classic rock. He is also big into classic American sports cars. I love me some classic American sport cars. Number one, the car that they drive in the series is a 1967 Chevy Impala. Love that fucking car. Love that fucking car. But I am also a huge fan. My favorite car of all time. 1967 Shelby GT 500 Ford Mustang. Love that car. The greatest car ever created. When God said, let there be automobiles. When God created automobiles, he said, let there be the Shelby GT 500. Fucking love that car. So yes, so Dean is a huge fan of old school classic American muscle sports cars. He loves them. But not only that, Dean is just a good old-fashioned all-around American boy. His favorite food is cheeseburgers, bacon cheeseburgers. Ladies and gentlemen, bacon cheeseburgers. He loves bacon cheeseburgers. I dig that shit. I dig that shit. And with that said, another thing about Dean that I love, and this is definitely the work of Jensen Ackles, is that Jensen Ackles put so much of his own personality and his own flair into the character of Dean Winchester. He is so fucking funny. I shit you not. Jensen Ackles is a hell of a fucking comedian. He really is. And it's kind of funny to look at some of his older work, because, you know, like Jensen Ackles got his start on what? Days of Our Lives? You know, I mean, and you know, Jensen Ackles sometimes gets typecast as, oh, he's the pretty boy heartthrob. But Jensen Ackles, number one, Jensen Ackles can do drama. Number two, he is a kick-ass action star, which, you know, back when they were doing the early casting for Captain America: The First Avenger, Jensen Ackles was one of the front runners for the role of Steve Rogers, and that's who I wanted to be Steve Rogers, was Jensen fucking Ackles. I really wanted him to get that role. But, you know, Chris Evans wound up getting it. And, I mean, Chris Evans did a stand-up job. It's just that with Jensen Ackles in that role, I would have known exactly what the fuck I was going into the theaters for. Whereas with Chris Evans, I was kind of scared, and then I was surprised when I actually saw the film. So, but anyway, but yes. So Jensen Ackles, he can do action, but he can do fucking comedy, and he can do it on the spot, too. He does some of the best improv comedy I've ever seen. Matter of fact, I will go as far as say Jensen Ackles does some of the best improv comedy I've done since, I think, Dennis Leary. Like, I would go ahead and say that his improv comedy is along the lines of how Dennis Leary does his improv comedy. It's like, it's just on the spot, spur of the moment, and it's fucking die-hard hilarious, okay? I will go ahead and I'll also put a link to one of my favorite videos on YouTube. It's called Deanisms. And it's like, it's a collaboration of some of Dean's best and funniest fucking moments in the series. I fucking love Dean's comedy. It's fucking hilarious. But, okay, so not to make this video too long, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get into pretty much, because I've been taught, I kind of jumped the gun in this video. Because usually for my favorite heroes, I give you a brief summary of the character and you know, what occurs with that character throughout the story, and then I tell you why I like them. In this video, I kind of did the opposite, because I just went into why I like the character so much, but I haven't really given you guys a summary of who Dean Winchester is. So I'm going to do that within these last couple of minutes. Dean Winchester he's a hunter. And he doesn't just hunt demons, but he hunts an array of supernatural creatures, from vampires and werewolves to okamis, changelings. Fuck, season 6 we got introduced to fairies and dragons, okay? He's a hunter, and he learned how to be a hunter from his dad. And at the beginning of the series, we were under the impression that, you know, they kept calling it the family business, and we know that their father, John Winchester, is the one who taught them how to be hunters. When I say them, I'm talking about Dean and Sam. But we find out that apparently the family business didn't come from John. It came from their mom, Mary, because her family were the hunters. Okay, so pretty much what happens throughout the course of the story, the things that, you know, Sam and Dean, I jumped the gun again. the things that Dean and Sam, they kind of pretty much what occurs throughout the story is that Supernatural is pretty much the story of these two brothers who are both hunters, and the adventures that they go, the adventures they have in search of this very special and very rare yellow-eyed demon. That's what, I mean, in a nutshell, that's what the story of Supernatural is. Two brothers hunting these supernatural creatures, traveling America, kicking ass, taking names, saving lives. All the while, they're searching for both their father, John Winchester, and this rare yellow-eyed demon who is responsible for the death of their mother. That's what, in a nutshell, the first 3 seasons about. But seasons 4 and 5 get into whoa shit territory, and that's when I got invested in the series, was in seasons 4 and 5. Because in seasons 4 and 5, we get introduced to the concept of angels. Because they've always been demons in Supernatural. Since the first episode, there have always been demons. But in season 4, we get introduced to angels. And if you know where this thing is going, like me, like I knew where the series was going when they introduced angels. Because, let's see, we've already had demons, and they're introducing angels. So maybe we'll get God, and if we're going to get God, then that means we're going to get the devil. So I knew where the series was going. That's why I got into it. And let me say that as of the end of the 5th season, the series did not disappoint. Like, honestly, I highly recommend this series up to the 5th season. Do not watch the 6th season. The 6th season is bullshit. But the first 5 are flawless. The 5th season, I fucking adored with the utmost intensity. But so, with that said, like I said, in seasons 4 and 5, we get into whoa shit territory. And that's because by then, the brothers have been successful in killing the yellow-eyed demon. But now they're on the hunt for the big bad booty daddy himself, and that's Lucifer. And so that's where the story takes place with the two brothers in their hunt for Lucifer. But with that said, like I said, what else can I say about Dean Winchester that I haven't already said in this video? My favorite moments with Dean especially. Okay, like I said, Dean is very family oriented, and we see that in the first season because, they're searching for their dad, and that's his reunion with Sam and all that. And then season 2, we see, Dean's conflicted with the death of their father. Spoiler alert, because John does die at the beginning of the 2nd season. And the first half of that season, we see how, Dean's dealing with that. But then at the end of season 2, Dean loses Sam also. And what he does is he decides to sell his soul to a crossroads demon in order to save his little brother. Season 3 was one of Dean's best moments because Dean was dealing with the reality that he had only 1 year left to live. And just seeing Dean, dealing with that was, it echoes so much about this character. I can't stress that enough. It's one thing to have, to be introduced to a kick-ass character like Dean, and you're like, oh, he's a hunter and he's a badass and he gets the girls and he listens to rock music, he likes sports cars, and he, all that type of jazz. But you don't get to know exactly the ins and out of his character until season 3. And for fuck's sake, season 5. I'm sorry, but I have yet to see a single character in film, television, cartoons, comics, anime, manga. I have yet to see a single character that changes the way that Dean does by season 5, where, for the most part, until before season 5, Dean has had his up and downs, but he has always managed to come out on top. He's always managed to pull it out. But in season 5, to see Dean truly broken, to get to the point where he's like Sam, we're not going to win this. There's no way we can win this fight. His character is so broken in season 5. It is fucking incredible. And I applaud Eric Kirk and the series writers for writing Dean like that, because, like I said, it's one thing to see a character at his highest highs, up on his high horse, you know, riding into the sunset, but to see him at his lowest lows is fucking incredible. And this show did a damn good job with that. Whew. I just got goosebumps just thinking about it, because this is damn good writing. But with that said, yeah, I'm over 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to wrap this video up. I want to thank you guys for joining me again this week. As always, comment, rate, subscribe. Guys, once again, let me know in the comments below. Vote for what series you want to see next for favorite hero, favorite villains. And as always, I know I broke the rule this time. I don't intend to make that a habit. But, guys, thumb up the comments for the series that you want to see. Thumb them up. But with that said, stay tuned. I have my favorite villain for Supernatural. You are going to want to see this video. And my DC Comics / my Warner Brothers DC Comics and Warner Brothers rant. It's coming up this week. As always, guys, thanks for joining me again this week. This is your Commander-in-Chief, Larry Williams. I'm signing off, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.